of the great rabbis of yesteryear. We are on Chaf Gimel Tevet, the 23rd of Tevet. Marks the Hilula of a really great Moroccan rabbi. His name was Rabbi Vidal Tzarfati. Zeche Tzadik Libracha. To give him his full title, Rabbi Vidal Tzarfati HaChamishi. There were many great rabbis from the family, from this rabbinic dynasty, with this name. So they were named in numerical order, let's just say in of itself. He was born in English year 1862, I believe, precisely on Yud Zayin Nisan, in the middle of Passover, the festival of Passover. And he passed away on Gimel Tevet, 23rd of Tevet, in English year 1921. To be precise, it was the 3rd of January. So at that point in time, he was approximately close to 68 years of age at the time of passing. He would go on to become a great posek halacha, a rabbi that will render various different Jewish law decisions in of itself. He would become a dayan, a judge in Fez, which had a great Jewish community in his era in of itself, and he will be later on, towards the end of his life, appointed as a head of the Jewish court and chief rabbi of Fez, very prominent position. Let's explore some of the highlights of the great Chacham's life. Now, he was born in Fez, as we said before, and he came from great rabbinic heritage, as we said before. I believe his father's name was Rabbi Avnei Yisrael Tzarfati, who he himself happens to be a great judge, a Kabbalist, and a very, very great rabbi, or famous rabbi from Fez in Morocco in of itself. He would be appointed as a judge on towards eve of the Sukkot holiday. This was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, around the period of 1892. If I'm not mistaken, he was about the closest 30 years of age at the time period of itself. He would serve in the court, headed by another very, very famous rabbi who we've spoken about on various occasions before, Rabbi Raphael ibn Sur. And inside was like let's just say, a great Torah nucleus inside this famous bet in of itself, including Rabbi Shlomo ibn Danan. He was sitting in the court. He would end up becoming, let's just say, a chief rabbi also of Fez in Morocco at one stage in time. And he happened to be himself the author of the Shut, the Sheilot, the Shuvot book, of the Asher Lishlomo, and various different great Torah works, and was arguably considered maybe one of the most famous Moroccan rabbis in Jewish history. Another rabbi that sat with him in the Jewish court was Rabbi Matityahu Siriro, another great rabbi, and Rabbi Yehuda Benyamin Siriro, a very great, let's just say, Torah bet in Jewish court in of itself. And they would bring about various different takanot at that point in time. For example, to, let's say, strengthen the modesty inside the community itself, strengthen Torah, and was very, very much a famous, let's say, era in the, let's just say, in Moroccan Jewry or Moroccan Jewish history in itself. They amended, I believe, various different takanot regulations, let's just say, in of itself at that point in time, with regards to promoting Shabbat in of itself at a greater level. And I think it was situated very much in the Jewish quarter in Fez. Fez had a great Jewish community in of itself. The court actually in of itself corresponded on halachic matters with the rabbis all over Morocco, in all over the great cities in themselves, such as the rabbis in Meknes at that point in time. I think at that point in time they were very strongly corresponding with Rabbi Shalom Amar, who he himself happened to be a famous, let's say, payatan, a poet in of itself, and was a great, let's just say, halachic arbitrator in of itself. Also with another great rabbi who we've spoken about before, Rabbi Yeshua Shimon Chaim Ovadia, who I think was the rabbi of the Safro area in Morocco in of itself. He happened to be the author of the responsa, I think Yismacha Levav, if I'm not mistaken. And he was also happened to be a massive advocate for moving to the land of Eretz Yisrael in itself. So he was very, very much well heard and very, very much respected all over different areas in Morocco in of itself, and granted, let's just say, a great reputation in of itself. And he would actually, I think, strengthen the community in of itself. And I think he would actually travel, if I'm not mistaken, as a Shochet Rabbanon at one stage in time. He would, I think it was in Chodesh Cheshvan, in the Hebrew year, Hey Tafresh, face of it, he was appointed the head of the Jewish court and the chief rabbi of the city in Morocco, in Fez, that area itself, and was recognized, I think, by the Moroccan monarchy, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he passed away in Fez on Chaf Gimel Tevet in the Hebrew year, Tafresh Pei Aleph. I believe this was in the year 1921. We're talking about 104 years ago from the time of recording. At that point in time, I think after when he passed away, the great rabbis such as Rabbi Yosef Mashash, really, really great rabbi, and the various other rabbis sent letters of condolence and eulogized great rabbi at that stage in time. And I believe his son was Rav Abner Tzarfati, I think the second, actually, to give him his full title, would serve, I think, in the rabbinate afterwards at one stage in time in Fez. He would actually take on his role. That was Rabbi Abner Yisrael Tzarfati Hasheni, really great rabbi. Now, he left a Torah colossal work in himself called the Piskei Din, which was, I think, in a manuscript form. I'm not too sure whether it was printed or not at one stage in time. It was various different, like he's judging his halakhic renditions in of itself, but that was also printed, and he was very great rabbi. Remember, in this series over here, we have already related over about probably 100 great Moroccan rabbis of yesteryear, which is actually interesting enough. Really, we're trying to get the breadth and the knowledge of especially Moroccan Jewry all throughout yesteryear inside this series over here. And just from Fez itself, we've probably covered about maybe 15, 20 great rabbis, at least a dozen, I would say, in of itself. And the family, the rabbinic dynasty of the Tzarfati family is absolutely incredible. His father, we said before, was Rabbi Abner Yisrael. He happened to be the author of the colossal work Yichas Fez. His mother's name was Rabbinit Sultana ben Ivan, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he would have, let's explore his descendants, included Rav Abner Yisrael, who we mentioned before, who become head rabbi of Fez, also Rav Eliyahu, Rav Chaim, Rav Yosef, Rav Yitzchak, Rav Meir, Rav Masud, Flikas, Rav Rachamim, and Rav Shlomo. And he would have, I believe, reported over two daughters also, Rabbinit Miriam and Rabbinit Sultana. His sister's name was Chana, Rabbinit Chana. His actual grandfather was Rabbi Vidal Tzarfati Haravi'i. This was on the side of his father, which is interesting enough. So it was really great rabbi. Please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. Friends, we are a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear from all over the Edut Mizrach, Oriental countries, the Spanish countries in of itself. If you happen to be related to any of the great rabbis we are mentioning, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. And also, please subscribe to the channel. If you feel anyone will be interested in listening or watching these videos, please share to the other people also. We're really a community here, and wishing you all blessings here from Israel. And watch over all the previous videos we've covered on the other great Rabbanim in this series. So wishing you all well and blessings.